Hello and welcome to English Adda channel. I Prakash Mato is going to discuss the poem The Wind from CBSE class 9th Behind book. I am going to explain an intro of the poem and summary of the poem, and also I am going to explain the literary devices used in this poem. So don't go anywhere, stick to this video till the end. Before starting this video, do subscribe my channel and also like, comment and share. Come to the intro of the poem The Wind. We all know the wind is a natural phenomena. The poem The Wind has been originally written in Tamil language by Subramania Bharti, and it was translated into English by A.K. Ramanujan. Now if we will go to the summary of this poem, now basically in this poem the poet talks to the wind. The power of the wind has been described. The poet says the wind is destructive. The poet says this wind is destructive. Now the poet has linked the destructive power of the wind to the adversities of life, to all the challenges and problems that we face in life. And the poem says that the weak people who are not strong enough breaks down, but the stronger people emerges out more stronger. So whenever we have a challenge or adversity in our life, those people who are strong enough, they come out more stronger, they overcome the adversity, and those people who are weak they surrender to the adversity. This is the basic facts of the poem or basic things of the poem, and they become more weak and they fail in their life. So the poet gives us an important message. The poet says that that he should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardship of life. A weak person breaks down like a weak building and crumbles. So weak persons finishes whenever challenges come in front of him or her. The poet says we must make these destructive forces our friends with the strength and determination. So the poet says that not only we should overcome our challenges, but also we should make these situation or these hardship as our friends, or this wind as our friends. By what? With the help of our strength and firm determination, so that later on our life we do not feel that these challenges are challenges for us. If we will proceed to the line by line explanation, then it will be clear to you that what the poet wants to tell. So come, let's see line by line explanation of this poem. Wind, come softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You were very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Here, poking fun means making fun of, and weakling means a person who is weak. So here the poet, in the very initial line, he says wind comes softly. So as here we get some softly is the nature of a child. So here the poet described the wind like a child, but in the second stanza, from the second line, the poet says that it is the poet describes the wind as a young boy or girl, because they have very much energy. So from the second line, poet describes that the wind like the young boy or girl, because they never come back, or they never turned back. So don't break the shutters of the windows, scatter the papers, throw down the books on the shelf. Look what you did, you threw them all down. So here the poet says that if the wind blows very strong, so what it will cause? So it will shatter the windows, scatter the papers, and it can throw down the books from the shelf. So these things it can done. Again, it can, if it is coming very strongly, so it will tore the pages of the books, and again it brings rain with it, along with it. Okay, so these things the wind can do these things the wind can do. So again, look at that: frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling raptors, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. There is a repetition of the word crumbling. Here the crumbling means falling or to cause something to break. So here you can easily understand that if the wind blows so strong, so it can break down the houses, or it can break the doors, it can break the raptors. Here the raptors means is the sloping beams which support the roof of the building, so it can break everything. The wind god we knows and crushes them all. Here the wind god is here. Wind is described here. Wind god is there, and what it will create or it will do, we knows means, look at that, the process is called the winnows. What the women are doing here, this process is called the winnow. Means separate grain from husk by blowing on it. By blowing it, they are separating grain from the husk. So what will happen? uh, god Wind god winnows and crushes them all. Those who are weak, they are crushed. He won't do what you tell him. If you will say that don't come wind so rapidly, but it will not listen your words. As you know, you have to face it. So what you have to do to protect yourself? You come late, build stronger homes, join the doors firmly, practice to form the body, make the heart steadfast. Here steadfast mean firm. These things you have to do. Okay, and your doors should be joined firmly, your body should be strong to your body should be strong. Make the heart steadfast. Here steadfast means firm. Your heart should be firm. So if you do these type of things, you can overcome from this situation. Do this and the wind will be friend with us. And if you will do these things, then your adversity or this situation will be your friends. It will not hurt you. Okay, the wind blows out weak fires, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. Here flourish means grow. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. His friendship is good. If you do these things, it will make you as your friend, and we praise him every day. So this friendship will be good. So in the whole poem wants to mean that if you are strong enough, if you make yourself strong enough, then no one will hurt you. So a good message is given by the poet in this poem. So this is the explanation of this story. Now if we will go to the literary devices of the poem, then we will find first of all, there is no rhyme scheme of the poem. The entire poem is written in free verse. If you will look, that the entire poem is written in the free verse. Again, a very prominent literary device is the anaphora. What is anaphora? Anaphora is when a particular word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines. Like, look at that, all these three lines. Look at that, all these three lines begins with don't. This is anaphora. Okay, don't, these three don't it begins. So these are three lines begins with don't. This is called anaphora. There are more instances of anaphora. Here you can see that u is here repeated. Look at that, u is here repeated. So this is also an example of anaphora. Next important literary device is the personification. In the entire poem, the wind has been personified. Here you can see the wind here treated as the, or personified as the human being. It is attributed it is treated the wind as a living thing. Okay, so wind here is personified, so you can find the literary devices of personification here. Next, another important literary device is alliteration. Another important literary device is alliteration. What is alliteration? Alliteration is the repetition of the consonant sound in close connection. Look at that. Here you can see wind, we knows, God, wind, God, we knows. This is the example of alliteration. Was sound, repetition of was sound. So this is an example of alliteration. Again, there is also use of symbolism. There is also use of symbolism of the poem. Symbolism means things refers to poem, things refers to some other things. Okay, so this is called the symbolism. So in this poem, wind is symbol. Wind is symbol. In this poem, the wind is symbol. The wind refers to the challenges of life, and we can say that the poet uses the wind as a symbol of destructive force, or you can say that adversity of life. Wind here symbolized as the adversity of life. Okay, so these are the literary devices you can find from this poem, the wind. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can comment me. I will try to give your answers. Thank you, and thank you very much.